Wednesday looking absolutely terrible. This is the 1 week chart. Let's have a look at the daily chart. It's just as red. Shout out to CFX and the big dump. But yeah, things are just cooling off from the previous week that we had with everything pumping so hard. Now we're getting the cool off and sideways movement. XRP obviously moving sideways, looking good above $3 still. I think this is great. I think that the momentum is a little bit quiet today as people expect what's going to happen with the FOMC meeting and whatever is going to happen with that. A lot of people are saying that it's already priced in to an extent. Nobody's expecting anything special. But, there's always some anticipation. There's always some, let's hold off and see, right? And if you're wondering where to get information about the previous announcements, some people actually aren't aware of this site. The Federal Reserve makes all this stuff very easy to access, and you can also see what the dates are. Like, for instance, we know one started yesterday to the 29th and finishes today. So from my time zone, I'm ahead of you guys by about 5 to 8 hours. If you're in America, European time, obviously the same as mine, but this meeting is American time. So people are still asleep now. When they wake up, then sometime during the day it'll be nighttime for us, and then all things kick off, right? So today is going to probably be event-free from the British and European point of view. From the American point of view, once you guys wake up and Jerome Powell says what he needs to say, we may see a little bit of movement, but I think a lot of it is already priced in because there's a lot of drama, right? Jobs not looking very good, which is good, I guess. We're sort of like in reverse economy mode at the moment. And then following July, there are further meetings in September, October, etc. Man, there is a crow right outside my window that's trying to get in. Let me just close the window there. I don't know if you can hear it. It's really crowing. It's going pretty hard. I don't know. They say crows never forget a face, and they bear grudges and stuff. I hope hasn't got beef with me. You don't want a beef with a crow, trust me. Anyhow, yeah, back to XRP. XRP, though, moving sideways and, recovering from the slight FUD that we had over the weekend. There's another, bit of good news. Every day now we're getting more and more announcements. Now, this one is from a company called Hyperscale, a data center management company, amongst other things, a technology company based on AI and data management and stuff like that, data center provision rather. They have started buying the XRP that they said that they were going to buy. They already announced that they're going to spend about $10 million on a strategic reserve of XRP. They've kicked it off now, and the buying has begun. So as you can see here, Hyperscale announced that it will start releasing weekly reports on August 12. These notifications will account for every XRP buying and selling operation, the total supply of assets, and the company's digital asset strategy updates. I'm going to read something off their own website that is bound to upset some Bitcoin maximalists. Every time you have leaders of such massive corporations say something good about XRP, there's always people on social media pushing back at them as if to say these people themselves don't have their own agency and their own minds to look at what we have now and understand that there are tokens that are, functionally better than Bitcoin at doing the things that they need to do, right? Especially when it's true. You get a lot of pushback from social media, from Bitcoin maximalists and other kinds of people, XRP haters generally, who push back. We've had enough time for them now to have done some research, some of these guys, and come up with their own decision based on just the facts on the ground, right? But anyway, they have started buying, and we expect the first report on August 12th, so we know how much they've bought. And their shares ticked up 10-11% on announcement of this beginning to buy. So the investors are happy. It went down well with the investors that they're embarking on this XRP treasuries scheme. So it pumped a little bit. It's cooled off about 7% apparently, but this has been a positive thing with investors. And when the investors are happy, the company tends to do what the investors want, right? But what's also important for the investors, it says here, as part of the commitment to transparency, the company will publicly share summaries of its transactions. Now, obviously, we can look at that on their public ledger, right? Unless they're doing something OTC that we have no access to. If the transaction is happening publicly on the markets, we can see, even if it's OTC, we can still see XRP moving in their wallets, right? If we know what those wallets are. But from the investor point of view, transparency reports is how they've done it traditionally. So I guess they'll be happy with that as well. So this is what they said. We believe in the long-term future of artificial intelligence and energy, the demand for energy in the data center space, digital assets, and the demands for what the future holds for finance. That was stated by Milton Todd Ault III, Executive Chairman of Hyperscale Data. Do people have these titles still? We view XRP as a foundational asset in the evolving global financial ecosystem. Our goal is to build a balance sheet that reflects the future of not just computing infrastructure, but of global finance as a whole. So they see XRP as part of the future of finance. Remember, these people are forward thinking in terms of their company. They deal with AI, data centers, and the future demands of energy caused or that will be caused by, blockchains, AI, all these hypercomputing stuff, and soon quantum computing, etc. The amount of energy that is going to be required to run all of these processes is what they specialize in, right? They're a data center provider and data management company. So they are very futuristic, and they are saying that they see XRP as a foundational part of that, okay, of the future. And when people say things like this, it kind of rubs people the wrong way that don't believe in the dream, right? This is their website, as you can see. Co-location and hosting services for the emerging AI ecosystems. Now, they're going to be big. I don't know if they have their own token. I'll be surprised if they're not planning one themselves. But, I'm also sure that they're probably looking at tokens that are related to this kind of activity. So you're looking at, Filecoin, Render, and, artificial intelligence type coins. But Filecoin would be something important. Render as well would be something that they might be interested in. AI technology, co-location, managed services, security, professional consulting, cloud services, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, shout out to Hyperscale Data buying XRP. Talking of AI though, AI is the impending doom, I think, that people are not paying that much attention to. I think more people are paying attention to it now as it's starting to affect people on a daily basis. Even on my channel now, I don't know if you've noticed, I do more of the human stuff rather than the, not scripted. I hardly ever do any scripted stuff unless I'm doing a collaboration with a company or something like this. I do more of the human stuff where I'm just like telling you what's in my mind, right? Because those kind of videos are the ones that are going to survive past this massive AI revolution that we're having. AI is absolutely eating through every corner of society in terms of, income generation, jobs, lifestyle, etc. Even YouTube have recognized this, and they've enacted a new policy to try and reduce the rate at which AI channels are springing up and basically replacing traditional channels. For instance, like this channel, I could easily just clone myself with an AI service and have it do research and come up and give videos and stuff. And it would probably do better than me in providing insight, data, recommendations, and all sorts of things. Because again, AI deals directly with the data. AI could probably process way much more data than I can ever in just 5 minutes than I could do in my entire lifetime. So it's able to come up with, find news from every corner of the internet and actually do a video about it and give you guys all the information. But what AI doesn't have is experience. AI doesn't have insight. AI doesn't have nuance and doesn't have thoughts, right? And that human connection is going to be one that's going to be yearned by people in future. Okay. So if I were young and emerging at the moment, let's say I was, 15, 16, 17-year-old, I would focus my energy on learning how to code AI so that I would be the guy controlling the AI that's taking other people's jobs rather than competing with the AI for jobs, right? That's one thing I'll do. Second thing, if I can access that kind of level of training, is I will find some analog processes that are going to be the last standing bastion of humanity when AI takes over. For example, I would become a plumber, right? A plumber's job is still safe for now until robotics become a thing. Now, we already have robots obviously being put out by the likes of Amazon and what's the other guy? Elon Musk's Tesla, right? But they're still prohibitively expensive. So a plumber is still required, especially in places like London, New York, right? With really old plumbing systems. So we still require plumbers. I would become a plumber, right? Because you still have another, what, 70, 80, 100 years of jobs before robotics become cheap enough that can just download AI. Each house would have, going forward, I can imagine like in 100 years time, every house would have its own robot, and that robot would be able to just download AI code and do all the handy stuff in the house. Okay. You're going to have self-fixing stuff. I mean, the world is going to be a crazy place in 100 years. But yeah, wow, what a diversion. Not financial advice. Do your own research. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.